Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. In 1971, President Richard Nixon of the USA announced that they are diverting away from the gold-backed currency, meaning they were stopping to back up their currency, their paper money, with gold. Uh, Previously, there were laws which restricted the banks from printing money because they needed to have the same amount of gold reserves uh, in their in the bank, so that when you come with the note, when you want to claim the gold, you can be able to get the gold. You can be able to get the gold. So President Nixon announced that they are diverting away from so it's our form of transport. If people don't know, we've got this type of transport this side. So President Nixon announced the diversion from the dollar backed currency to a paper money which is not backed by anything. So this allowed the bank to print as much money as they can. This allowed the banks or the investors or the white people to print dollars without baking it with gold, to just print dollars and go around the world buying assets across the world, printing dollar money and buying assets across the world. Zimbabwe have announced that the President Mnangagwa has announced that Zimbabwe has moved to a gold-backed currency. Let me explain what inflation means so that people can understand how important is this move. Inflation means oversupply of particular goods. So inflation in terms of money, it means oversupply of the paper money. And what caused the oversupply of the paper money? It's when the banks print more notes without baking it up with real gold or real silver or the actual currency, which is backed by something besides the paper, because the paper is just the paper, it's nothing. So let's remember that President Muammar Gaddafi was killed by the US for this idea, for advocating for Africans to implement a gold-backed currency. So Zimbabwe were forced to go this route because of inflation in their country, the inflation of the Zim dollar. The Zim dollar, they had printed 14 trillion. 1 trillion Zim dollar, which apparently it's less than that. In value, it's less than 20 rand. So what caused the money to lose the value? I need to explain what is inflation in a way that everybody can understand. When there's an oversupply, let's say you are selling an smartphone, and then all of a sudden, everybody has the smartphone somehow, all of a sudden the smartphone, it's available in abundance. You were selling it for 10,000 rand before. Now, because it's in abundance, everybody has it. It loses value. That is called inflation. It means the goods have been oversupplied in the market. This is supply and demand uh, education or issues. So when something is oversupplied in the market, it loses value. So that is called inflation. So even money, when you print more of the paper money without baking it with gold, it's just paper, the money loses value. Say, the Zimbabwean dollar has lost its value to the last degree. I mean, printing a trillion Zim dollar, which is just equivalent to 20 rand in South Africa, or it's less than a dollar in America. Uh, that was just too much for the Zimbabwean government. So they had to come up with a strategy. They decided to back up their money printing with gold. So Zimbabwe would be the first country in the world to back up its currency with gold. Actually, I'm mistaken. Zimbabwe would be the second country in the world. There's a certain country called Kailasa. It's a Hindu country. It's a new country which is led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Uh, they their currency there is gold base. In actual fact, they use gold as their trading gold coins as their trading apparatus. So Zimbabwe will print money, but the money which will be printed will have a backup of gold. I think that is very important, and I think it's a very good move for Africa, and I think Africa and the rest of Southern Africa and the rest of Africa should go for this, because we do have the gold in our reserves. So Zimbabwe has the most gold reserves in the planet. Uh, so they have enough gold to back up their currency. In actual fact, Africa has enough gold to back up our currency. So I want to say to President Mnangagwa, though this was forced on him, but I want to say well done, and maybe a lot of African states can follow suit and back our money, our currency with gold. I thank you for listening.